Characters looking stiff? Illustrations repeating the same old poses? Animation looking boring? Fret not, I have a cure. Dynamic gesture drawing is a great way to really loosen up and make your work interesting and, more importantly, fun. Here's what you will need. You'll need reference images, such as this one from Envato Elements of smiling friends dancing and jumping on a beach. Film or TV shows with action. Your favourite drawing programme or traditional media? I recommend inexpensive felt tip pens and copier paper, and a stopwatch. Optional, life drawing classes, check the local press or art colleges, or a friend being silly. What is gesture drawing and why is it important? According to Wikipedia, a gesture drawing is a work of art defined by rapid execution. Typical situations involve an artist drawing a series of poses taken by a model in a short amount of time. It is an important skill to develop because you learn to capture motion very quickly, which is helpful for creating interesting and dynamic artwork. Gesture drawing can really help you capture a subtle motion, a look someone gives a loved one, or a fabulous action pose you see in a wrestling match that could work great in your superhero comic. Gesture drawing does not always have to involve exciting, explosive poses like this image from Envato Elements. Gesture drawing captures the rhythm, the motion, and the flow of an action. Even stationary poses can look dynamic. Remember, these are not stick figures, these are action poses. The line of action. The line of action is very important. It is not necessarily the spine of the person or creature. It's the shape the form takes. This is where my gesture drawings begin. Really look at your subject and redraw the line of action several times if needs be. Here's an example of the line of motion in these 5 teenagers. Moving on from these lines of action, you can roughen limbs, torso, and head. Keep the lines fluid. Remember, though, that smooth lines can show calm and flexibility, whereas jagged lines show tension. How I work. I start with a line of motion and then plot out the legs. Working quickly helps me capture the motion. When working in a life drawing class, I was trained to draw poses in 30 seconds to 2 minutes. As much info needs to be put down as possible. Practice. You won't always get this right first time, but that's cool. These are not meant to be finished pieces. Be scribbly, be quick. Remember to look at your work afterwards and see what you need to improve and what you're doing right. If you do find a dynamic pose that works well, then try working it up with some basic anatomy. This could be a great confidence booster. Another use for these quick gesture drawings is working out a complex, long pose in a life drawing class. Not sure where the anatomy should go? Do a few rough gesture poses first. Not happy with how the model looks from your spot? Try walking around the model and other students, quietly of course, and rough out poses to find the best one. I'm a big believer in planning out my artwork before I start. It might seem like a waste of time, but you will save time later on in the piece. Keep it simple. Start with a line of motion and use whatever shapes help. Sometimes I use bean shapes for the body, other times I use rectangles and triangles. To show the head direction, draw an oval with a horizontal contour line of where the eye line is and a vertical one for the nose. How to improve. It's nothing more than practice, practice, practice. An option is going to life drawing classes. This isn't always possible, but there's nothing like drawing from a model. At art college, I loved life drawing classes. We had them every Friday. These range from long poses, studying anatomy, to 30-second poses to study movement. In these, the model would change pose, often with a prop, such as a stick or perhaps a cloth. You never knew what you would get next. By the end of a morning session of a few hours, I would have pages and pages of sketches. It helped my capturing of movement and gesture improve very quickly. A fun way to practice is to watch films and pause scenes with some cool action and try to capture the pose. Try timing yourself. Do you have a commute or some time on a lunch break with no access to life drawing classes? Try some observational drawing. Look out of the bus window and try to capture poses. This is good as you can't sit and analyse the pose, go back and redraw. Find a medium that works for you. When not working digitally, I like to use brush pens. They do not have to be expensive, just plain children's colouring pens are great. An advantage of having different colours is that you can have your line of motion in one colour and the pose in another. Quick poses don't have to be human either. Got a pet? Live near a farm? Apply the same principles to Tabby the cat or Daisy the cow. Most importantly, keep it simple. Remember, these do not have to be anatomically perfect. It's just a case of finding motion and fluidity. I hope you have a lot of fun creating these sketches. Do not be precious about these. Use the cheapest media you can, like copy paper or newsprint, felt pens or charcoal. Make this a regular exercise and even use it to warm up before a long day of drawing.